If you are in DC right now and you're black or you're brown, I really feel like we need to be paying really close attention to this whole situation regarding Trump deploying the National Guard to DC. I'm not a political girly and I really don't even have the range, but I actually do. Okay. So listen up really quick. If you live in the DC area and you black or brown.
So, a group of activists have hit the streets in order to protest Trump's takeover of Washington, D.C., or should I say, Trump's cleanup of Washington, D.C. But imagine being the member of the Black community in Washington, D.C., a community plagued by violence against each other for years, and then accusing the president of committing violence against that community when he's trying to make the city safer for the people within that community.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Warriors, we've got Black liberals and Black conservatives who are out here in the streets, the social media streets, talking about President Trump's cleanup of DC. We have varying points of view here, so I need you guys to stick around. That's what I'll be talking about today on Chat with Me, Linda B. All right, Warriors, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Select all notifications so you never miss a video. Stick around to the very end. Let's go. All right, so it's been all over social media with people talking about, President Trump is going to be targeting Black people, and you can be for sure that the left-leaning media has put out their lies out onto the masses of those Americans that actually believe their lies, that the National Guard is actually going to be targeting people. That's what people on the left believe. They believe, those on the left, not saying that it's true, but they believe that President Trump is going to unleash the National Guard on its citizens, on American citizens. I talked to a relative yesterday. She believes that President Trump is going to go after people, not people committing crime necessarily, but National Guard to go after people because this person watches MSNBC News. Well, I have people, Black people, with varying points of view for this video. And I need you guys to stick around and listen because we need to know what the evil powers that control the media is actually feeding to our loved ones, our family members, our friends. They're serving them up a buffet of gaslighting, a buffet of fearmongering, and they've passed out from gluttony. They've overeaten, and they need to relax and unzip their pants to let their waist release. So we're going to hear some comments from those on the left. And then we're going to show people with common sense.
If you are in DC right now and you're black or you're brown, I really feel like we need to be paying really close attention to this whole situation regarding Trump deploying the National Guard to DC. I'm not a political girly and I really don't even have the range, but I actually do. Okay. So listen up really quick. If you live in the DC area and you black or brown, I'm gonna play this clip really quick and then we'll talk about it. If you're outside of DC area, you may not care, but I'm sure there's somebody you love or you care about that's over here. Here's a clip.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in DC, and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the DC Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that.
So in short, what this does, it gives him temporary authority to take over the Police Department. So we're going to have roughly 800 National Guard troops in the DC area or in DC, 500 federal officers. It's just going to be a heavy police presence. So obviously this is going to affect DC, and the fact that DC is nearly half black. Now we might be in a situation where it's going to be over policing for the city. So we may see more policing in certain areas in DC, like Southeast, black people make up over 80% of the homeless population here. So
All right. So again, with the fear mongering and what she got out of that, she didn't get that he was just trying to keep the place safe. This is our nation's capital. What is President Trump supposed to do? Just sit in the White House and let everything fall down and burn to the ground around him? This is the nation's capital. We should keep it clean. And this is going to start with DC and probably go out to other areas that are crime havens of the radical demon rat parties that have been controlling these areas for decades. This is not going to stop at DC. I pray it doesn't. I pray that it goes to Chicago, Philadelphia, Memphis, Detroit, and other areas in the country that are overburdened with crime. I really pray that it does, because we have a crime problem. We have a mental health problem. Our streets, are littered with, I don't want to say littered, but they have homeless encampments all over the place. And no matter what President Trump does, he's going to be demonized, because there is an agenda that is funding all of these protests, allegedly. So whatever he tries to do to clean up, to bring law and order, to make it safe, to keep the illegals out, to raise up capitalism, to bring tariff money in, to help this country, the evil powers that be, the ones, back there somewhere in the background, they don't want that. They want the chaos. They want the homeless people in the streets. They want the border overran. They want crime. They want poor performing public schools. But whenever President Trump tries to help the things that the evil powers that be are trying to destroy, they get their money out and they send out these protesters. You think these protesters organically came out? If you think that, you're sorely uninformed.
So, what is that going to mean? We're going to have curfews in the city now. We're going to have checkpoints. It just creates a really big problem or potential problem. And we're not even going to talk about people that suffer from mental health in the DC area or DC, okay? I feel like this is going to affect Black people more in DC. It's going to affect low-income Black communities. And I feel like this is going to be a problem, and I'm super concerned about it. So pay attention, be super aware. I wouldn't be frolicking all over the city, because I feel like we should be overly cautious. I feel like if you're Black and you're brown, and you live in DC or you work in DC, I feel like we need to be overly cautious and lay low. I'm a little scary girl, but that's just me. If I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I may not be.
You are wrong. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Fear mongering is of Satan. That's what he does. Satan does the divide and conquer. He uses fear. People run around going, he's going to take my Social Security. Oh, no, he's going to stick the police on us. Oh, no, he's going to send us to El Salvador. Oh. And none of that has happened. None of it has happened. Don't you guys pay attention to what is said by the left-leaning media that gaslights us every chance they get, and then compare that to what actually ends up happening? We need to do a better job of not forgetting what they've already told us that did not happen the way they said it was going to. Once we get that through our heads, once we get to the point where we realize, wait a minute, these people are literally gaslighting us. They're making us think that President Trump is going to sick the dogs on us and we're American law-abiding citizens. No, he's trying to control the crime problem. And to this woman, I would say, are you okay with children being shot in the streets? Are you okay with interns being beat over the head and bloodied? Are you okay with people being violated and raped? Are you okay with that? So you're not out here complaining about that, but complaining about somebody who is actually trying to clean up the city. And she mentioned curfews. I didn't hear anything about a curfew. But this is what's out there on the left. People, we have to pray for our family members and people who are just really got TDS so bad. She said she's a scary girl. So she's living in fear. Fear mongering is what they do on the left. The demon rats. They stoke the flames of racism when it's not even about race. She's putting race into this when it's really about crime. That's what they do. Always watch out for that. And remember, I did a video, a live about Booker T, a little clip about Booker T. Washington. He said Black people, even back then, 100 years ago, was grifting off of the grievances of Black people, partially because they want sympathy, but also because they want money. all these race hoaxes, all these things claiming racism. These are hoaxes, guys. These are hoaxes. Let's listen to another collected lefty liberal, and then we'll get to the people who are common sense conservatives.
If you think Trump's plan to take over DC's police department is about catching crime, it's not. This is about stoking white fear, making Black people seem dangerous. The Trump administration wasted no time, less than half a day before posting photos of Black men they've arrested on the official White House social media pages. It's a calculated move to stigmatize Black people, especially Black men, as criminal thugs to be feared. There is not even a single white man that they have arrested and posted on the social media page, y'all. Here's the truth. Violent crime in DC is at a 20-year low. It's dropped since 2023 and 2024. White folks will think this is solely about distracting from the Epstein files, but the harm this stigmatization will have on our communities will be widely felt for Black people. They've been running this playbook on Latinos since Trump took office. Now they're turning it on Black communities. An anti-Black, anti-brown campaign dressed up as fighting crime. This is even worse than when the Clintons labeled Black youth in our communities as super predators, because MAGA is creating the image of what a super predator looks like. Black people with children in DC, watch them. Especially watch your boys, because racial profiling and police violence is about to skyrocket there. Y'all be safe.
First of all, he's filled with a bunch of BS. Okay, so you mean to tell me y'all not upset about all these Black people being unalived by other Black people? Oh, be safe out there, but you weren't saying this when Black people were unaliving other Black people. See, this is the hypocrisy. These people can go kick rocks barefoot up a hill. They just make me so sick. You liberals, you are out of your darn minds. How in the hell can you be okay? The people who are normally victims of crimes are Black. You don't think he's trying to spare the lives of Black people? But no, you'd rather be lazy and turn on the television and listen to their lies and listen to them tell you that he's racist when you don't want to do any sort of research on your own. You are pathetic. Okay? And yes, most of the people who commit the crimes, they happen to be Black. They happen to be Black. It's just the truth. That mob in Cincinnati, I know that was in Cincinnati, not DC, but it's just an example of a microcosm of a problem that is really entrenched in the Black community. All the crime in certain Black communities, not all, but certain ones, we have a crime problem. 6.5% of the population are Black men, but they make up more than 50%, about 53 or 54% of the just truly violent crimes committed in this country. And you want to say this is about people making fun of you and profiling you and harming you? People who look like this man hurt other Black folks. That's just a fact. If anybody wants to get mad about it, they can get mad about it, get so mad about it that you do something about it. Something positive rather than get on TikTok or anywhere else and spew out this foolishness. He's going to act like all these Black folks that died again at the hands of other Black people. What about those Black lives? Oh, I forget, you people like Planned Parenthood and abortion. You people, I said, you people, you liberals, you love abortion. You want to get rid of yourselves. Black people unalive other Black people. Black women get more abortions than anyone else, percentage-wise. How about that? And let's just read a comment right here. It says, go ahead, walk alone at night in DC and tell America how safe it is. In 2023, DC had 274 murders, carjackings tripled since 2019, and now they fudge stats to claim crime is down. The truth is still 54% higher than any state. Lies don't make streets safer. Hashtag wake up. Wake the hell up. Okay, and let's look at another post. So here's a post that says, aren't you tired of innocent children getting shot by stray bullets? Aren't you tired of the crime here in general? Children committing armed robbery. DC is an extremely dangerous place to live, and something drastic needs to happen at this point. The man is literally trying to make the streets safer for everyone, but all they can do is race bait and fearmonger. Y'all be careful out there. Be careful. You should have been saying that before. Should have been saying that before when people were dropping dead from stray bullets. These imbeciles. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to calm down. But this kind of foolishness and stupidity out here, Yeah, I'm gonna call people stupid. I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to be a good Christian. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me. Okay, that's enough of people on the left. Let's hear from some common sense conservatives who know what's really going on.
So a group of activists have hit the streets in order to protest Trump's takeover of Washington, D.C., or should I say, Trump's cleanup of Washington, D.C. But imagine being the member of the Black community in Washington, D.C., a community plagued by violence against each other for years, and then accusing the president of committing violence against that community when he's trying to make the city safer for the people within that community.
Take it to the streets. This our DC. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets. This our DC. No justice, no peace. Okay, y'all. But that's the key is take it to the streets. This our DC. If we don't get no justice, they're not going to get any peace. My name is Nene Taylor, NeeetayLor. I'm a co-founder of Free DC Project, and I'm also the executive director and co-founder of Hurriy's Wildest Dream. The only violence that's happening in DC right now is the violence against our communities that this president is directing.
She literally said the only violence in DC is the violence against our communities perpetrated by this president. That is not true. Before he called in the National Guard, y'all know that the crime in DC is absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. And President Trump is trying to clean it up. Imagine how deranged you have to be to literally think that there was no crime in DC until the National Guard came out. You have got to be out of your, I started to say something, mind. You have got to be out of your mind. And again, they got some Black folks up here being just really, really stupid and triggered. And these are liberals. These are liberals that are being stupid and triggered. Now, this is wild to me that he is actually trying to clean it up. It's going to be safer for Black people and everybody else. We already know that Black on Black crime is a big problem. More Black people unalive other Black people than white people. See, white people are not Black folks' problems. No matter how the left tries to spin it, certain Black people are other Black people's problems. And notice I said certain because a lot of us are law abiding, and I get that. But there's a crime in DC. There's crime, horrendous crime. And it got so bad that people can't even try to go to work unless they get beat up. I can't believe these people are this deranged, but you know what? They know that they are not telling the truth. They know they're gaslighting. They're getting a check to come out here and protest. Remember, I said that.
For 4 nights straight, the president has been trying to provoke violence here, right here, in the Black communities and in the brown communities, having ICE kidnap our neighbors, having the Black community be harassed and profiled and want a response. We say, hell no, we won't go.
I find it very disingenuous that Black activists will protest against the protection and cleaning up of a city that has been plagued by violence, but says nothing about the violence and toxic culture that has ravished that community for years.
Trump is targeting Black people. Here we go again. He's not boldly stepping in to clean up Washington, D.C. by tackling crime, homelessness, or making the city look better. Nope. According to the ever-vigilant liberals and their woke squad, it is just another sneaky scheme to target the Black community. Because, of course, sending 800 National Guard troops and 120 FBI agents on night patrols is less about protecting people and more about tyranny. And hey, even if Trump found a cure for cancer tomorrow, you better believe the woke and liberals will spin it into some sinister plot. Can't win with those folks. Did you hear that? Sounds like thunder. Of course, Trump's behind it somehow. We are just 7 months in and he's already doing great. What's your take?
All right, that is that. So you got some common sense liberals, and again, it just boggles the mind at what people will actually believe. So they're pushing this out and stoking fear in the minds and hearts of people. The left-leaning news media is the one doing that, stoking that fear. And now that these people who watch the left-leaning news, they're out here freaking out, causing other people to be afraid. Now, one thing I do not like in the Black community is that and certain parts of the Black community, let me be clear, not the conservative ones who do our own research. I'm talking about the left-leaning people who get freaked out and think that the president is going to profile Black people and drag us out or whatever. You think he's just going to do something to you if you're not committing a crime? That's insanity. I'm talking to the liberals. You guys, look at what actually happens to you. Look and pay attention and compare that to what the news media that you watch, that you consume without any kind of inhibition. You just consume left-leaning news that gives you a bowl full of BS, drenched in more BS and a side of BS. And you eat it all up, and then you scared to death thinking someone's going to drag you out of your home and beat you up and give you a curfew and profile you. You didn't cry this loud when Black people were unaliving other Black people. That's why I don't even pay attention to the liberals. Not too much other than for content purposes. That's about it. I don't really take in what they say. And the fact that Black people want to be victims so bad, a certain portion of the Black community, let me be clear, wants to be a victim. Oh, they after us. Oh, nobody's after you. If anybody after you, is people who look like you. You let the wrong Black person in your house if you want to in certain areas where you just told them you bought a 75-inch flat screen, and then you have the nerve to tell them that you're out of town. You come back, your flat screen might not be hanging on your wall in certain areas. I'm not saying all Black people do this. You know how I feel about stereotyping people into all groups. A lot of Black people are law-abiding. I say that in every video that I remember to say it in. We are not anyone's problem. We are law-abiding, Christian, try to do right, and we even tip well. Yes, we even tip well. But in any event, I know we get lumped into the same group sometimes, but hear me when I say this fear-mongering that is out there amongst certain communities thinking that President Trump is after us. He's not. He is not. Let me know. And then she had the nerve to say ICE is coming after our neighbors. You can say it like that all you want to, like the Maryland man who ended up being an MS-13 gang member, who I did a video where he was caught on police body cam smuggling people into the United States. You can say that all you want to. Okay, President Trump is not after law-abiding people. He's trying to stop the crime. And people who are here illegally need to go back and come in the right way so we can know what's going on with them. Just because someone's your neighbor doesn't mean they're not involved in anything nefarious. They could be involved in some very harmful behavior, horrible crimes. You just may not know about it because they have sense enough to be nice and put on a fake smile that you, with no discernment, can tell who and what they actually are. So there it is, guys. There it is. Liberals versus conservative Black folks giving their take on President Donald J. Trump's cleanup of DC. Give me your comments below. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.